Welcome to The Skinny, where the meat of the problem is trimmed of its fat and we analyze what's left on the bone. I'm Mary Kate and this is Alexa, your host. So last week we talked about The Skinny on Slim Shady fat busting shakes. This week we're getting a little more serious and diving into The Skinny on HCG's fat shrinking claims. You may have seen it on Dr. Oz and how much he supports it for weight loss. One of the claims he makes is that it helps you lose fat and not muscle.
Well, I wanted us to look into this because my cousin was homesick one day watching TV and caught one of these Dr. Oz episodes that supports HCG for fat loss. Dr. Oz was promoting HCG, which is human chorionic gonadotrophin, for weight loss, for rapid loss of fat. My cousin tells me that after having 3 children, she feels that she is having trouble losing weight and would like to try the shots. She told me that Dr. Oz says that you can lose 15 pounds in 3 weeks due to the fat-burning HCG and a 500 calorie a day diet. So, she asked me, as a medical student, would I recommend the HCG shots? At the time, I really had no idea about it. So I told her I would look into it for her and do some research. So this episode of The Skinny was born.
Our staff searched for studies dealing with HCG and in particular with fat loss. We decided to approach it by using a clinical question, hypothesis, and null hypothesis. What we wanted to find out was, does HCG maintain more muscle mass than traditional diet in combination with exercise? And so our hypotheses included, first, a null hypothesis, which stated that HCG injections in combination with a restricted 500 calorie diet does not promote more fat loss than traditional diet. And our alternative hypothesis, which would conclude that HCG injections in combination with a restricted 500 calorie diet promotes more fat loss than traditional diet.
So, one study we found had significant statistical data on HCG relating to the claims of fat loss. And the first thing we discovered was that the research was conducted because of the increased popularity of these HCG injections and the actual lack of reports presenting a bigger picture of exactly what the injections do directly to the fat tissues it claims to affect. In this experiment, the HCG was injected into both obese and non-obese rats, as well as a control group. These injections were done for 5 weeks, and then fat tissue from each rat was looked at under a microscope. And do you know what they found? Nothing. The evidence showed that there was no advantage of HCG injection for weight loss in the rats. The HCG treated fat tissue looked exactly the same under a microscope as the untreated fat tissue.
And here is a picture of those results. So you can see that there is not really any change in the treated and untreated fat tissue. There is one limitation with this study, and that is the small sample size used, but it was enough to convince me. So for future studies, larger groups should be included. They also need to expand this research to human subjects.
After reading this study, I presented exactly what we've just explained to my cousin and let her know that the HCG had no effect on the fat tissue at all, and that the only way she is going to lose weight in the most healthy way is to change her lifestyle to exercise, and that light weight training gives you the ability to lose fat and not muscle during the weight loss period. And then, to help maintain her weight loss, is to keep up with a balanced diet.
So I told her, and I tell all of you, that the good old-fashioned way of losing weight is the safest and most effective way to drop your unwanted pounds and fat, and that you do not have to inject yourself with a substance that seems to be one of those fad diets. So, that's the Skinny today, where the meat of the problem is trimmed of its fat and we analyze what's left on the bone.